morning. Good morning. And one more time for good measure. Good morning. This is Stephanie. Friday, April 2nd. And we are doing our just a nice, I would say, slow flow tune in meditation practice. And I did my best to do the online streaming on different platforms, but apparently Instagram doesn't flow like the rest of the other mediums. So we'll do here, I will record, save the Instagram live, and then repost this on YouTube. So it'll be a recorded session, and we'll see. I mean, practice makes perfect. So if you're just tuning in with me today, we are doing a morning meditation just to get ourselves grounded. And I figured this would be a just nice, interesting way to tune in and set our intention for the day. If you happen to watch the video that I recorded last night, it's talking about Mercury and Mars in the sign of Aries, which is actually happening about tomorrow, this weekend, towards the end of Sunday. But you're always going to find that the energies are always like leading you, guiding you into the next chapter, so to speak. And even after the planets and just like the cycles and rhythms of life move on to the next stage, you can still find some of that lingering energy and presence there. So this morning, taking into account Mercury, the sign of communication, where its symbol is represented by Hermes, the messenger, and then we have Mars, the warrior. When you look at its symbol, it's represented by like a shield, and then that arrow, which would be considered its sword. So it's ready for battle. It's ready. It's just ready to go. Hey, good morning. Buenos días. Vamos a organizarnos para hacer una meditación. Si nos quiere, si quieres participar con nosotros. And so if you're just tuning in, if you're ready, wanting to join, and just take a moment to set your day, your intention. I wanted to take note and just say that you don't always need like a whole bunch of time to meditate and ground yourself. It's beautiful to do it at the start of your day, because I find that overall, the longer you meditate, you're able to hold this vibration, this state of presence and energy you carry forth. That will actually help to direct you and help you to attract ideally, the best outcomes that help you for your growth in your own spiritual journey and life. And then afterwards, I like to always suggest to my clients, and this is something I do as a practice for myself too, is like, how can I do these little tune-ins daily? And this is where I like to integrate, when you practice yoga, there's so many components. And so the primary thing that most people associate yoga with is the asana practice, is just of the physical body, the way you use it. And there's so many styles, but all of it is meant for you to sit down, to focus at one point, one focal point. And that focal point is ideally that connection to your spirit soul within you and your connection to your divine. however your relationship is with the divine, and what name you feel most comfortable in, that connection between you and source. And so that being said, I'll go through as I'm speaking. You can get yourselves ready. I'm already sitting on a nice little cushion just to have the hips elevated above the knees. And this helps to, at least for those of you who need that little back support, and keep that spine straight. And really for today, get yourself comfortable. That's the whole point. Your mind, your breath, your attention won't be focused on the here and now if you just don't feel comfortable, right? But the practice of meditation and yoga is to learn how to find that comfort within that space, those moments of discomfort. Because when you're the anchor point and you're able to find that moment to breathe and just ease in, everything else tends to expand. And so that also leads to today's discourse, is that the third eye is perception, communication. What are you receiving and what are you giving out? And taking a moment just to let the words in this present moment settle is third eye perception. Sometimes when our third eye chakra energy center is closed, meaning that, all of the chakras in alignment in our energy field at the center of our physical and energetic body all have these energy wheels that are spinning. And if that wheel tends to, for example, just metaphorically, to help you picture and envision this, is spinning slowly, or the light is dimmed, not that it'll ever burn out, but it just isn't shining as brightly. It means it's not receiving. The flow in the channels isn't opened. And so what you're doing at a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual levels, you're just reopening those lines. And then you'll notice how you feel. That with focusing in today at the third eye, using these little tips and tricks throughout your day will help you to recenter yourself. And if you, for example, have way too much open energy, that means that you're not grounded. And I'll be posting a video later on today about the differences if you're needing to sedate, bring that energy ground towards the present now in a grounded state, or if you need to tonify and bring that energy up and just open up that channel there. And so in the seated, nice, perhaps easy pose position where you're cross-legged, and just to show you here, one shin in front of the other, your knees are towards the earth, and if you need a little bit of support, you're welcome to put in a nice little pillow, or I have this blanket, and you just stuff it underneath the knee so that it fills in the space, the gap between the knee and the earth. We're going to begin with a nice deep inhale, and just find that point in breath, and your hands are just nicely relaxed on top of your knees. And exhale out through your mouth. Taking another deep inhale, cleansing breath in through the nose. And exhaling out through the mouth. By tuning in with the breath. That is our first focal point, and you can continue that breathing at your own pace. And exhaling out. Now see if you can draw awareness, attention towards the sound of your breathing. A lot of times when you're able to tune in, you can hear a difference between the inhale and the exhale. And taking a moment to close your eyes if they're not already closed. Draw awareness to your shoulders. Are they up close to your ears? Or are they nice, relaxed, settled? Shoulders pulling away from the ears, drawing back behind you, drawing the shoulder blades back so that your heart is open. And having this nice, still posture between the crown of the head and down to your sits bones. You're setting up your position and your point in space where their intention is to focus in. Taking a next round of breath, inhaling in and exhaling out. Slightly lower the chin to your heart without locking it. Today is just a gentle practice of tuning in, drawing awareness to the midline center point of our body, and just continuing to focus on your breath. And on the next inhale, a lot of people notice the sensation of the breath being up on the upper chest. And on the next exhale, I want you to, drawing within energetically, envision the breath coming down towards the belly button as it descends physically while seated, planted onto the earth. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your sit bones. Because by physically drawing awareness here and envisioning the breath coming down to the root of where you're planted, you're helping the breath move down deeper. Inhaling and pull the breath up. And if you want, you can begin to draw your hands up to your core, your belly, perhaps just strumming it. What you want to do is just tune into the physical body. And when you get up to the collarbone, just begin to pinch lightly, gently. Sometimes when we're nervous or when our breath gets stuck up at the upper top of the chest, again, that's just a signal that we need to focus in and give attention to our body, our breath, so we can control, come back to center, and be present now. Lowering the hands down for a moment, focusing on the breath, exhaling. feeling that descent, place your right hand over the belly button and just press the fingertips over the belly button. And this just helps draw awareness to your lower base chakras here. And as you inhale, feel the breath expanding from side to side. Front to back of your trunk of your body. And this time, up at the top, using your fingertips. Come to that point above the eyebrows, your third eye, and place your thumb there. On the inhale, focus here. And on the exhale, draw the breath down. Keep that thumb pressed against the third eye, nice and gently. Gentle acupressure. When your breath comes down, squeeze the sit bones. This time down at the sit bones, I want you to just lock that in. So you're envisioning almost like you have a seed there planted, or like you're sitting on top of an egg or a ball, right? And tailbone is down, pelvis is tucked. As your breath comes back up, you feel the belly button in the spine. And just focusing in on that third eye, release that thumb. And continue to breathe. And at this point, allow the breath to just become its natural orientation with you, where you're not so focused that I have to tell you about the breath, but you're just now one with it. You're sitting with it. Follow the direction. Follow how it makes you feel as you go up the channels. On the inhale, breath physically just slightly grazes through, massaging your internal organs on the physical level. And when you come back to the top, just place your finger over the third eye and begin to tap. This tapping sensation, and as you continue to breathe, is actually something that helps you to draw awareness and say, when I'm thinking small, or I'm only seeing one way of doing things, or I think there's no other door, window of opportunity, what am I not perceiving? What are the other options I'm not seeing? So by drawing energy to the third eye, you're telling yourself, you're telling your energy to come here, help you open up your perception, and just release the tapping. The hand returns down. Draw awareness. How do you feel after the release? Can you still feel that energy pulsating there after having touched it, tapped it? And as we said, normally our breath gets stuck at the top of the chest. But by you finding certain anchoring points on your physical body, such as the third eye, and tapping it there, you're directing the breath to go above that stuck part. And as you exhale and the breath descends down the core, down the belly button, down to the root, your sits bones, and you're pulsating there. And you're saying you wanted it. Go down, rooting to the earth. Now you might be asking, what happens when my third eye has too much energy? Well, this is why you started the practice with just sitting and standing still. The act of you pulsating that root chakra down your sit bones into the earth is you physically planting yourself down and saying, this is where I want to be. And in turn, this accumulation of this energy here, if you're way too much in your headspace, if you feel foggy, brained, like you're too much in your imagination, a third eye, helps to bring the energy down. And if you close your eyes, you're drawing in. And just even taking, the yogis say 6 breaths is what you should be taking in 1 minute. And if you can do that, little tune up throughout your day. Or if you can't sit down, you're standing and you're feeling the ground beneath you, under your feet. That's also grounding the energy down. You'll be able to find balance. That nice happy medium where your third eye is not too open and not closed. It's shining exactly as it needs to help guide you on your way today. And I'm just going to invite you to hold that space. And your eyes are closed. In this moment, I just want you to release. Don't hold on to the idea of what you're doing. Just be present. The third eye is your connection to your higher self, to your intuition. And when it's not balanced, you don't have a clear sense of who you are, and your boundaries are not stable. But when you take a moment out of your day, even if it's for a minute, and you intentionally come back to your midline, come back to your center, by first focusing on where your body is in that point in space, and that you can find a moment to just still it. And maybe just focusing on drawing the attention inwardly by tapping that certain energy centers in your body, like the third eye we did, the collarbone, to open up that chest area, cavity, to expand that heart space. Maybe placing your hand over the belly button and just aligning your tailbone down and pelvis tucked in. And then just sending the breath. That'll help to clear out any stagnant energy. That'll help you to re-establish your baseline. Abraham Hicks says that when you let go of whatever it is you're holding on to, and just take a moment to settle in the now. Your natural baseline is like one of those floaty balls in the pool. When you're holding on to resistance or things that are not meant for you, or your boundaries are not set, it's like the ball is trying to push against your own energy. It wants to come back up to the surface and float. When you release everything and just give yourself permission to be here now, your natural nature, your identity, your sense of worth, of who you are, connection to self, will float up to the top. And that's where it's supposed to be. And so I invite you to take on the next inhale, a nice deep cleansing breath in, all the way to the top of the crown of the head. And exhaling out, open up wide, and we do a lion's breath. Stick the tongue out. One more time. Inhale in. And exhale, get crazy with it. Shake the shoulders out. Eyes are closed because it doesn't matter how you look like. You just want to let loose and shake loose and be present. And returning the stillness, draw your hands to center, rub the palms together, and feel this generated heat in between the palms. And place the palms over your eyes. Feel the heat, clarifying your vision. And exhaling, palms face down. Shake out the wrists here. Open up your eyes when you're ready. And before you begin your day, if you're like me, or if you use this sort of just grounding technique, take a moment to consciously choose your next thought. Where's your heart guiding you? Where's your third eye? Maybe a vision, an idea comes up. Follow that. Don't question it and just be where you are now. And I'll be posting some information about the third eye, when it's imbalanced, when it's balanced, and how you can kind of learn to gauge that for yourself in your own body so that you can kind of use these techniques, the breathing, the tapping, yoga, asana practice, movement in general, so that you'll be able to come back to your center. And like that metaphor from Abraham Hicks is just like your natural self is just going to come up because you're grounded and you're no longer holding on to resistance or being weighed down by external forces, conditionings. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Let me know how you feel after this. Just tune up, being centered. I pray that the rest of your day is fruitful and that you see signs and wonders of just indicators of what your natural personality, your higher self is speaking to you. And thank you so much for joining me. And just be present in the now. Let go of all the external noises. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. Satnam.